it's David here. I'm on a public footpath in Dorchester. Today we're doing banners on bridges. It took me a long time to find this location to do banners on bridges because the path to the bridge is a very narrow path which is on a small residential road, and it's very easy to miss. But on a positive note, I've walked down to the other end of the path where I've just entered and came across this amazing, beautiful farmland. So I'm standing on the edge of the farmland in Dorchester, in Dorset. As you can see, got a lovely view around me. So this is Dorchester in Dorset, as you can see. And I'm going to do banners on bridges. Don't know how many people are going to turn up today, but we'll see. It's a very obscure place to find, but I have finally found it. So we'll see how we go on today with banners and bridges, spreading some truth to the drivers of Dorchester. So yeah, should be a good day. It's Friday the, I think it's the 11th of September. No, actually it's gone past that. Friday the 12th of September 2024. Go banners and bridges. And this is the bridge we're going to be doing our banners over. Yellow banners over this bridge in Dorchester. So that's that side. Whee! And that's that side. Thank you. Bless you. Bless you. Come and show me how the banners are done.
So this comes on loose, because we need to flip it over afterwards.
Yeah, that's right.
Just grab the other one.
Got Nick over there,
Yeah.
so Nick.
I was hoping that they would arrive.
Okay, so you've got Chris the musician there on my left. Chris the musician, seen him before? Good to see Chris. And you've got Bob here. And the other one of your name as well? Lewis. Well, you got Lewis.
The Kiwi as well.
I thought I recognised an accent there.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure. Good to see. It's Lewis as well from Breadpolts. And Bob, where are you from? Are you?
Weymouth.
Weymouth. And you're not quite Weymouth. Yes. Upway, that's the one. Chris. Okay, so we've got Bob here. Bob's came over here from Weymouth, and you were talking, Bob, about the, was it a Keep It Cash stall you were doing?
We got a cash stall. We have it in Weymouth and Dorchester, so we alternate. We've been doing it, I would think, something like about 20 months now, and we promote the use of cash, and because we explain all the facts that are at the back of what the government is trying to do. The Bank of England trying to bring in central bank digital currency. So the way we work, we just, it's a simple thing really. We say to people, keep using cash, keep drawing it out. If you go somewhere into some shop or cafe that says card only, just politely say that you only use cash and walk out. But you must explain to them, it's no good just walking out, so that they understand why you're walking out. So that's essentially what we do. But we give out material about UK Column, the Light newspaper. The money that we collect a bit of money, and then we split that between the Light newspaper and UK Column. So we send them a bit of money, you know, when we've accumulated a little bit. So that's the way we work. Yeah.
And that's really nice calls, actually. So do you find a lot of people, I mean, first of all, do you think many people, I'll get on to UK Column in a minute. Do you think many people understand when you say to them we need to keep cash in stores? Do you feel a lot of the staff actually understand that, or do you think they kind of give you a funny look and I'm like?
No.
You know?
When we first started, there was a bit of bemusement, but we noticed that as we've gone on over these 19-20 months, we've noticed more and more people are alert to what's going on. We get lots of thanks now for being there. In fact, every week we meet meet amazing people every week. What we'd like to do, of course, is to reach the young ones.
Why don't you like me?
Because you're a complete bastard.
Vivian, I'm being serious.
Sam, you're a complete bastard and we all hate you.
I find that rather difficult to believe.
Do you want a better lip? I'll put down a fiver.
Yeah, me too.
You can count me in.
And obviously, there's not that many young ones walking down the street, for example, on Friday morning. But we give out stuff and we say to people, it's important to discuss this issue, especially with young people. So we exhort them to do that, and we have great conversations with people. Lots of people are awake. Lots, you know, more than you think actually. Yeah,
That's good. And do you feel? I know there's been lots of stories about card machines going down in different stores.
Yeah.
I mean, only this week, I think Greggs had their card machines going down, and they had a sign on the door saying "cash only, please." I mean, that's Greggs, which is like a multinational company now, I think, really. Do you feel these so-called accidental IT system failures are going to become more of a regular thing? Okay, so I'm at Morrison's today, 28th of May 2024. Cash not available. Next cash machine, cash not available. Next cash machine, cash not available. This is where it's going, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, in Weymouth there's a shoe shop called Pavers, and for quite a few days they had a card-only notice. And I said to the lady behind the till, I said, what's this about? She said, well, actually, she said, it's a failure of our till. She said, so we will be taking cash. So now they're taking cash again. So sometimes it's a technical failure. Yeah, obviously, some of these big places, some of these big stores, of course, they you can say that they're trying to avoid using cash. The interesting thing is that the banks, regarding the banks, out in Dorchester, we have our cash store right outside Barclays Bank. And there's an employee who works there, a gentleman, and he comes out to see us when we're there, and he gives us the lowdown. And he said, of course, he said, you know now, he said, that we're putting a limit on the amount of cash that you can pay in as a private individual. And he said it's 20,000 now in Barclays. In NatWest, I think it's 23,500 per annum. Now, if you're a business, obviously you can still pay it in, but they charge you quite handsomely for that, for paying cash in. The banks do. The employee at Barclays, he keeps us au fait with what's going on. And in Weymouth, we were there last year, and a gentleman came out from the NatWest. He was curious at what we were doing, and he said, I can tell you, he said, that if I said to my superiors that I favour cash and I favour good personal customer service and so forth, he said, and I don't. He said, I can tell you, he said, that I would be overlooked for promotion. So that's from the horse's mouth, that is.
Wow, sounds very corrupt. So he'll be overlooked for promotion because he's saying or doing the wrong things.
Exactly.
Not towing the corporate line.
Yeah, you got it.
Amazing. So, gosh, sad, isn't it? Gosh.
So there's a lady called, you might have known, Catherine Austin Fitz. She's an American lady. She used to be in Reagan's government. She was in the housing department, and she's now got an outfit. It's like financial advice and so forth. It's called Solari.com. Solari. Now she talks a lot about cash, and she knows how the government works from the inside. Well, the United States government. she talks a lot about cash, and they originally started off in the States. They had Cash Friday. So the idea was, like a lot of things they do on Friday in the States, like Black Friday and Dress Down Friday, where you go to work in your jeans and all this. You know. So they had Cash Friday. So on Fridays you try to use only cash on Friday. That was an American thing that Catherine Austin Fitz was promoting, and you can check her website, solari.com. She's got lots of interesting things about the use of cash. Like, for example, she's got this. There's a video on there by he's an executive in the Bank of International Settlements in Basel in Switzerland, and he's a Mexican bloke, and he's called Agustin Carstens. And Agustin Carstens, there's a video of his on solari.com, and he tells you in about 2 minutes exactly what the aims of the central banks and the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of the central banks. He tells you exactly what they want to do.
Thank you very much, Bob. Very interesting indeed.
Okay.
And I know one of the banners on the bridge is about the dangers of central bank digital currency, isn't it? So it's all very apt, isn't it?
It is, and people are starting to twig it now.
Yeah, you can tell by the hooting horns that people approve.
Yeah, they are starting to understand. And I mean, the people are coming under pressure from the banks. Like, for example, there was a very, very nice Dorset lady who came to our store, a refined kind of person, and she wanted to draw out some cash. I think she wanted to buy a second-hand car or something, which, as you know, these days a second-hand car can be jolly expensive. And they gave her the third degree in the bank. It said it was most distressing. Eventually, there was talk about calling the police and all this, you know. Eventually, they said, oh, well, you can take out £500 a day, so you have to keep taking. But they give you the third degree if you want some cash. And they all do it. It comes from on high. Yeah, all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Naughty people wanting their cash, wanting cash out of the bank.
Exactly. Yeah.
How dare you take your cash out of the bank?
Exactly. So because it's an interesting thing, the cash issue, because it's a thing that anybody can relate to, because basically everybody's interested in their money, whoever they are, you know, whatever their political standpoint is, or what they believe in, what they don't believe in. They all want their purchasing power, their cash. So it's an issue that can reach a lot of people.
Good move there. Good,
Yeah.
very good tactic there. Tap into people's interest in cash.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bob. Great
Yeah,
interview
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Bless you.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so got the banners up now. Whey! That was a hoot and a half from a big lorry driver. Somebody approves. For some people here, this is the first time they would have seen these banners. For others, they know us and they're looking out for us every week. Well, not so much me. This is my first time. But these guys are the regulars, these are the hardcore, and that's Nick there, who sent me a great email. Thank you, Nick. And there's Karen here.
Hi there.
Hello, Karen. I've seen you before. You were in Sherborne, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in Sherborne doing yellow boards.
You were. You got a very yellow top as well. Is that deliberate? Is that part of your yellow style?
To attract people to the message, yes.
I like it. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
It's very, very fitting. How are you finding it today, Karen? And how long? Are you finding this effective? Standing on a bridge.
This is the most effective bit of activism we've been doing. It's actually fantastic. The feedback is normally very, very good. You may hear some honking on the back, in the back there. Or people give us the thumbs up. Very, very rarely do we get any sort of idiots calling some abuse out of the car window.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
In general, it's very positive feedback, and we're very happy doing this. And it's always, we go into the pub afterwards and having a little bite and a drink and celebrate that we woke up hopefully a few more people and did our bit.
It's always nice to end in the pub, isn't it? Whatever you're doing, nice to end in the pub.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And do you feel, I mean, I noticed we had a few people passing by on the bridge just a little while ago, pedestrians. And we had a very positive reception, I found, actually. Do you find the reception from people walking past you is very positive?
We don't get many people walking past here, and they're just curious. I think only once did we get a bit of sort of aggro, but it was only once. In general, people are really open what you're doing here, what is the purpose of this, action. And, no, we never got any notes. We even had a policeman here once, and he was very interested, and he had a long chat with us, and I think Chris even took his number or something.
Whoa, is that a boat going past?
Somebody likes
Boats for freedom! Boats for freedom. How's the boat going past? Do you get many boats?
Police came up.
The riot police as well.
The riot police?
Yeah, they had their heckler and cocks and sidearms and pepper spray and all the rest of it, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, they were very nice actually.
What, here on the bridge?
Yeah, here on the bridge.
Riot police on the bridge with their pepper spray?
Oh, I must have missed them.
And their guns?
And they were armed. But they were quite reasonable actually, they were quite good.
Nice people.
They ended up being engaged in a quite lengthy conversation with us.
Okay.
But we've had some funny stories here. There was one guy came past tooting his horn like that.
That's very enthusiastic.
And he was waving a fistful of notes as he went by because he totally agreed with us.
Oh, really?
We want to keep cash.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to say a fistful of dollars then.
Keep moving.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Moving, moving, moving.
But we've also had a couple of people come past and hold a light paper up as they're driving through.
Really?
Yeah, that's good. That's good
fantastic.
news.
So they really know who you are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is Lewis, by the way. Lewis has been doing this. How long have you been doing this for, Lewis?
Probably close to a couple of years now since I come on board with that.
Fantastic.
But we've been doing the Keep Cash stalls in Bridport and in Crewkerne as well.
And Crewkerne as well.
Yeah.
Could you mention how people can find you in Crewkerne and Bridport?
Yeah, go to Falkland Square.
Falkland
in
Square.
Crewkerne.
Yeah.
It's near the Costa Coffee thing. It's a little square. We locate about every 3 weeks.
Okay.
We're going to do one more later on this month. But we stopped doing it in Bridport because we got too much hassle from the council.
Oh, right.
But the good thing to point out here, we are getting some honking of horns, but the good thing is every single car going past, they can read it. And they can read these banners from several hundred yards away. I've had that confirmed by friends of mine who've seen us here and they've told me afterwards.
Brilliant.
So yeah, it's good. It's a really excellent way to get a big audience. And also we've done a couple of videos of it as well, which we've posted up on the internet. So people can see what we're doing.
And where can people find your videos? Because somebody mentioned Facebook. Do you stick them on Facebook? Or?
I'm not personally on Facebook. I am on some Telegram channels, and I'm also on some WhatsApp ones. So we can post things up to there, and then people can spread it out and post it on to their friends and so on.
Brilliant.
Which is where the internet for us has been very, very useful.
Yeah, that's good.
Because if you're just people who are listening to mainstream media, they're only going to get one narrow narrative.
Now, I have a lot of sympathy with what they're going to do in Austria, because I cannot understand for the life of me why people believe this rubbish on the internet, the anti-vax propaganda. It is deranged. We know there's figures from the Office of National Statistics that say, what is it? You're 32,000 times more likely to die if you've not been double jabbed from COVID. There's no possible reason, unless you've got underlying health symptoms, not to have the jab. But my worry about doing it is, how do you enforce it? Do you stop everybody in the street? Who's going to stop people in the street? We don't have enough police officers on the beat anyway, so how would you make it work in Britain?
Well, you'd do it through snitches, wouldn't you, Storm? That worked. It worked in lockdown. We had people saying, "Get round, we can hear a karaoke."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, I think if anyone was having parties,
but this is Austria.
This would work. But I don't think, even if you called up the police and said, "Oh, I've seen my neighbour go out to their friend's house," you can't. Like, there's no proof of that if they end up back at their house.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, so what the police do is they do spot checks. Right. So when you're at shopping, you might see an officer, and the officer says, "Show me your card."
Yeah.
Now, if you want to risk having a fake card, you can do it, but you'd be in a lot of trouble.
But then what happens if you break the rules? Are they going to imprison them in Austria? Fine them?
There's a question.
In
because
France, well, there was only one.
Prisons full of unvaccinated people. Sorry.
In France, in Paris, there was only one person who was unvaccinated on the platform, and a security guard came up and said, "I don't know, that'll be 192 or 162 euro fine."
So how did he know he was unvaccinated?
No, this was to do with making sure everybody's masked.
Yeah.
So they're taking very rigorous action.
He was unmasked.
But nowhere could you go to the museums or anywhere without showing your vaccination record.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so this is Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland, where you need a vaccine passport or a negative lateral flow test to enter. So this is the 2022.
You guys just have your tickets and your COVID passes out and ready, please.
COVID passes, guys. Get your COVID passes.
Get your COVID passes out.
Get your COVID passes, guys. Get your COVID passes. Make sure you've had your jabs, guys. Welcome to 2022. 2022, guys. COVID passes. Make sure you get your passes, guys. Get those jabs in your arm. You might get into Winter Wonderland.
Have your tickets out, guys. COVID passes out as well, please.
This is the sell your bodies for a trip to Winter Wonderland, ladies and gentlemen. Sell your bodies for a trip to Winter Wonderland.
Listen, when I go and see the footballers, I've mentioned many times, they ask to see I'm double vaccinated. This is a crowd of 43,000 going to a football stadium.
And people aren't wearing masks, but you're outside.
We're outside, and in the end, I think they just feel it's reassuring.
But we know that the football in the Euros, there was a spike around the football stadiums. We know
there was.
I don't think here this government would bring down this kind of lockdown. The public opinion would.
If things went worse, I don't know. I think people are a bit intolerant of the anti-vax crew.
You know, those of us that tried to suggest there may be significant side effects from vaccines, we kind of, like with the rest of your show that you had early on, we kind of got canceled because no one wanted to talk about the potential that there was a problem from the vaccines.
On the internet, on social media, you're going to get a much wider variety of opinions. But this is brilliant. I'm on a lovely sunny day. You're getting the thumbs up.
Real sunshine.
Yeah.
Don't get much of that these days.
Yeah, I think there might be one or two chemtrails
I
around.
saw a few chemtrails earlier, but it's been relatively kind to us today. And I know I was talking to Bob earlier, we were talking about Mariana Spring, the disinformation reporter.
Oh yeah, Lady Haw-Haw, I call her.
Lady Haw-Haw?
Yeah.
I like it.
BBC Verify calling. BBC Verify calling. That's what Lord Haw-Haw did, didn't he?
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how he started. Germany calling. Germany calling.
Oh really?
So I call her Lady Haw-Haw because she's disseminating propaganda.
Oh, I like it. And I haven't heard that phrase before.
No, well I thought it up one
link.
day and that's what I call her now.
Brilliant. Yeah. Oh, that's a very good phrase there.
Yeah, well, she gets lambasted on social media. Every time she opens her mouth and says something, the comments are just bang in.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, people can see it.
That's really good to hear, because I mean I've been tuning into BBC 5 Live on the radio just to hear what the beings, as I call them, are telling everyday people.
Yeah.
And I know she's got her own slot on BBC Radio 5.
Oh, okay.
And she's always talking about, she always drops in about the disinformation that she reports in her spare time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just so programmed, and I feel very frustrated listening to the radio.
Yeah.
You know, just for that short time. Do you find more and more people are turning away from BBC now?
Oh yeah, they've lost 500,000 people just this year alone have scrapped their television license. 500,000. The total now of citizens in this country who have scrapped their TV license is 2.9 million.
Wow.
2.9 million.
2.9 million.
Because people just go, nah, they're lying. We're not having it.
1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
They go onto social media and they'll listen to private, like UK Column News, for example, and they're getting a completely different story, backed up by facts. They can prove what they're saying.
Fantastic.
It's not just an opinion.
UK Column is definitely a good news.
Oh yeah, definitely.
News source, isn't it? I know it's on. Is it back on YouTube now? It is, isn't it? I think they were taken off.
Facebook have been banned, but they are on YouTube.
They're on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. So check out UK Column, ladies and gentlemen.
They're doing a live one on the 19th of October in Bristol.
Are they?
The venue's yet to be announced.
Okay.
So they're doing a live one. I'm actually going to that one.
Are you?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, to be able to meet them. And of course, I've got some video footage on my phone of what we're doing here.
Oh,
so I'll be able to show you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. Lewis.
I love it, you know.
Keep going.
But look, this is the beauty of doing it on a Friday, because you're getting the weekend traffic.
Yeah.
And look at it. The traffic's just crawling along nice and slow, so they've got plenty of time to read it.
Good strategy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the traffic is slowing down because people are taking the time to read the banners as they go under the bridge. And there's another one. Red cars for freedom. Yes. Very good, very good. So you're doing a great job here anyway.
Well, look at the audience we get.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Tens of thousands of people in a couple of hours.
Well, like I said, on a Friday is perfect, isn't it? Because people are going away for weekends.
Yeah.
And also going home from work and going off to school runs this time of the day.
Right, yeah.
It's about 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen.
What kind of intrigues me, I know we get people giving us the thumbs up, people giving us peace sign, waving. Sometimes they've even taken photographs or filmed it. But we know that everybody is reading it. They can't miss it.
No.
So you can only imagine what the conversations are going on in the cars after they've gone past. That's the intriguing thing.
It's great. I mean, I have to say, I was travelling under this bridge a few, probably 2 months ago with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we know Barbara and Derek from a group. And, and I said to Claire, the first thing I saw when we went under was the banners.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, it's yellow banners. And then we suddenly saw Barbara and Derek on the bridge as well. And we were waving and hooting the horn.
Yeah.
But so it's incredibly noticeable. Way! Woo! Yeah! There goes the blue car. Blue car.
A few weeks back, the funniest one, we had a big articulated lorry came through, and he sounded his horn, and it was the William Tell Overture.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, we weren't filming anything at the moment, but it was brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Hi, fantastic. Well, you did a great job there, Lewis. Thank you very much.
No
awesome. Thank you. So, I was just talking to Lewis about the Bradbury Pound. Worth checking out. The Bradbury Pound which was around before World War One.
Around at the beginning of World War One.
Excellent.
They introduced it because the financial system was about to collapse, and it sorted out inflation immediately. It kept its value, and then shortly after a few months, the banksters came in and said, "Oh no, you'll have to scrap that because we want to be able to print money so that we can prosecute World War One." And that's what it's all about, printing money.
All about printing money. Check it out, guys. Bradbury Pound.
The Bradbury Pound. Yeah.
Thank you, Lewis. Chris, nice to see you.
Hello.
I like your hoodie there. What's it say on there?
It says "Make 1984 fiction again."
Very true, very true. And do you feel? Sorry, your sun's in your eyes now. Do you feel 1984 is becoming less and less like fiction?
Oh, absolutely. And people, I mean, maybe a couple of years ago, if you'd say Orwellian, people wouldn't know what you're talking about. But now, even, people who've never read the book know what you're talking about. So yeah.
When the government tells you what you gotta do, just say no. When they wanna stop you talking about your point of view, just say no. When they try to make you trust them. Everyone has their memories of a beautiful Christmas.
And do you feel? I know people used to call. I know that we had so-called COVID-19, and people were jokingly calling it COVID 1984. And I had a T-shirt with COVID 1984 on it, and I think Gareth Ike had the same thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. And do you feel, in terms of the reaction since COVID, going back to 2020, do you feel people have got more appetite for what we're promoting today? Chris, do you think people know there's something not right going on? Maybe they needed that wake-up call?
Yeah, well, I think the toots we get here, and interestingly, we've got a lot on this side about the money, the central bank digital currency, which some people might think is a bit of a niche sort of awareness. But we're getting as many toots for that as we are for the sudden death. So I think people are getting, they're understanding, they're getting a bit more sophisticated in what they understand is going on.
That's good. I mean, I was talking to Lewis, and he said that the toots for the sudden death were a lot more muted in the earlier days than the toots for Keep It Cash. And yet he says that the toots for the deaths have actually gone up in the last few months and probably a year. Do you feel that's the case?
Well, I don't know. It changes.
Varies.
I'm just saying what I've observed today. Of course, people understand the cash issue, but they don't understand it so much from the surveillance, from the freedom point of view. They understand it from their own. I mean, we went to see Lloyd Hatton, the new Labour MP, for Weymouth, and he basically agreed that we should keep cash. And in fact, he's on a parliamentary committee about that. But he didn't see it as a freedom issue. He saw it as an accessibility issue. People with various handicaps or whatever can find cash easier. And he's he looked through the points on the petition that we presented to him, and that's what he said. I see it more from an accessibility point of view. But then, of course, he goes and votes for to get rid of the winter heating allowance.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a mixed bag,
Yeah, it is rather. I mean, I think it's interesting you mentioned the Labour Party, and I was thinking, that sounds very positive for Labour MP to be going in that direction. But do you feel Keir Starmer, or Sir Keir Starmer as he's known, has gone a bit too hard too soon on the public with his new scrap on a winter fuel allowance?
Well, time will tell. It does seem to be having a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
Because you mess about with pensioners, old people, but what a lot of the people that will be complaining about this, they won't understand about the Midazolam murders, all the old people being in the old people's homes. What happened there? It's like a cull. So it's like a cull that's continuing because Starmer is of that mindset. But it's much more. It's a simple issue, and so people, can see it. They can see the injustice of it,
And I've also heard people say that it's not going to save money because the extra illness that will be caused, you know, it'll put the NHS under, you know, more strain. They always say that's a big sacred cow thing for them, isn't it?
COVID jabs in the classroom. This is the next step in the vaccine rollout to immunise the nation.
Nothing to worry about. I'll probably be over in a couple of minutes.
Okay, the traffic's stopped now. Good time for them to read our banners. Lots of traffic time to read our banners. Don't get bored, guys. Give you some reading. Might learn something. Oh, watch out your backs. Mind your backs. Mind your backs. Alright, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Cash is king. Hey, what's that? Camper van man. Camper van man. Hey. HP transport van man.
Keep cash or die.
Keep cash or die. Well said, Karen. Well said. Yes. Stock messenger from Karen. Keep cash or die. That would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Did we get a toot from an ambulance?
No.
Oh. Oh yeah. It's time. How you finding it, guys? How's it going today? Feeling positive?
Yeah.
All good? Yeah? Good, good. Excellent.
I haven't heard any one abusive comment yet from the drivers. Have you, Chris?
No. Any abusive comments, Chris?
Nothing I could make out.
No.
Really?
Must have been very muted abuse.
Yes.
Probably muttering on their breath. From the car seat. And what's the leaflet you got there? Can you show us your leaflets?
This is about 15-minute cities.
Oh right, nice.
What it means for you.
Ah, right. 15-minute cities, digital ID. Yes, watch out for the 15-minute cities. I'm going to upload one of these leaflets to the video, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see it more closely.
Here, no more camping holidays, no more family visits, no more days out at the beach. All your money, shopping, travel, entertainment, daily activities and carbon footprint will be tracked and monitored by your digital ID. If you exceed any regulations set by the government, you will be denied access to everyday activities.
Ooh, wow.
So
that sounds very ominous, very dystopian.
It is dystopian, yeah, and of course Sadiq Khan is the big man involved in that. He's the chairman of the C40 cities. So he's been going around the world persuading various cities. Well, he does it with cities to adopt the 15-minute city thing. This is an insidious thing, you know, these cities, because the globalists, they think that they can bypass the national sovereignty, the national parliament, by going directly to the big cities. So it's an attack on national sovereignty, and Khan's involved with that.
There are objections. In 2006, when we banned smoking from public places, and there are objections now. What I find unacceptable, though, is some of those who've got legitimate objections joining hands with some of those outside who are part of a far-right group. Who are some of those outside, some of those, let's be frank, let's call a spade a spade. Some of those outside are part of the far right, some are COVID deniers.
Okay, so he calls us COVID deniers. COVID, a virus which has not been isolated and purified to confirm it is a unique threat to humanity.
Some are vaccine deniers.
It's not a vaccine, Mr. Khan. It is an experimental mRNA technology jab, which is still in its trial period until 2023 and was only brought in under emergency measures through the Coronavirus Act.
And some are Tories.
I, for one, am not a Tory, nor am I Labour or Liberal Democrat or even Green. I spent most of my adult life voting the Green Party, but then in 2020 I realised how corrupt they were when they were pushing for children in schools to wear face nappies. It was an absolute disgrace, and now I don't trust any politicians because I feel they're all funded by the same corporations and they're just as corrupt as each other. Thank you very much, Mr. Khan.
Look, hang on. The mayor has a right to be heard, right? Don't look. This people's question time is an opportunity for you to have a change of views, not to heckle or shout, please. Otherwise, we could end this very, very quickly.
People are angry because this is the only time where they'll have a chance to speak to Mr. Khan directly. Usually he's surrounded by his entourage of supporters. He has his select media who ask him the right questions which suit him, and he's not used to facing general members of the public. So people have every right to ask him questions and heckle him, quite frankly, because it's the only time he's ever going to get heckled.
Now, to those people who've got legitimate concerns, fact, by the way, anyway, fact. Some of you have got good reasons to oppose ULEZ, but you're in coalition with COVID deniers. You're in coalition. You may not like it. 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 You're in coalition with the far right.
I find this particularly insulting. I mean, I've been promoting love and freedom on the streets of London for the past 3 years. I've been carrying a placard with love and freedom written on it with a big love heart. Now, how I can be called far right is anybody's guess. Love and freedom is not far right. It's unifying. It's bringing people together from all walks of life to support each other, to look out for each other, to come together as a human race. We are human beings. We are sovereign people. I am a sovereign human being. I am a sovereign man on this earth. I am not far right. I'm not far left. I'm not north, south, up, down, east, west. I'm a sovereign human being. And I will stand in my power as a human being, and I encourage all humans to stand in their own power, because we've been giving our power away far too long to these billionaires, technocrats, politicians who, quite frankly, seem to be serving themselves more often than not, which is the reason why we've got into this mess in 2023. So I'm sorry, Mr. Khan, you can throw insults at us all you like, but you know the truth. We know the truth, and quite frankly, it rattles you that we know the truth. And we will peacefully challenge what you're doing and your ilk day after day for as long as we need to, until true justice and freedom is shared by all on this earth, whoever they are.
And you're in coalition with vaccine deniers as well.
C40 Cities, guys. Look up C40 Cities, Sadiq Khan. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bob.
Frosty the Snowman was a happy, jolly soul.
He's never known to frown, and everybody says he is the happiest man in town.
Snowman is okay. It's Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. I want you wearing a snowman costume. Surprise.
Good to see you, Nick.
You too, Dave. Thanks very much for coming down.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
What would you like to talk about?
Well, I was going to talk to you about, basically what you're doing, really. I mean, I know you're a busy man. I know you've kind of advertised the banners on bridges today. First of all, how long have you been doing this for, Nick?
It'll be about 3 years in December.
3 years in December.
And we estimate about 1 million views. Over 1 million views now. And I'd like to think that's made a difference. And even those that are neutral or not with us, there's a seed planted. And when they see something that concurs with what we've displayed, it resonates for them. Not everybody, but I think that's what happens. And the other good thing about the banners is that people see the signs. They're not necessarily active, but they know somebody's on their side.
Goody two, goody two, goody goody two shoes. Goody two, goody two, goody goody two shoes.
And the other thing is it gets families in their cars discussing. I think you've probably heard that before. And so it does a lot of PR, a lot of publicity about everything that the globalists are doing to protect their own interest. And it's important that we show there's resistance and that we're aware of what they're doing. You can look at the globalists as a billionaires club that are protecting their interest as well, and they can only do that through control. Because if they lose control, then they'll either be killed or they'll have a very rotten end of life period. And that's why they're so fanatic. That's why they're so desperate. And it's reaching a crescendo now within the next year or two, where we will have to make decisions. For example, in New Zealand, and to a certain extent it's already law in Australia, and it will come here in America for the next fake virus
Pandemic.
They intend to force vaccinate people. They knock on your door, have a lot of heavies, or a lot of illegal immigrants maybe to help them, hold you down on the bed and have somebody put a needle into you. And unless we're prepared to resist, unless we're prepared to stand up and at least get to that stage, they are going to win. It's not easy, but that is why it's so important for us to spread the word and get people understanding just what is happening, and just get them to the point where they understand that they are purposely, the bad guys, that is, the globalists, purposely depopulating us so that they can have sufficient control.
But you know the serious challenge that's posed by anti-vaxxers, and I think we need to strategize to really push back, because vaccines work, vaccines affect adults, and we have science, evidence on our side. I think it's time to be more aggressive in pushing back on anti-vaxxers. I think they use COVID as an opportunity, and you know, all the havoc they're creating.
And I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free, we will stay free, and you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself.
That's very powerful words. I mean, I heard somebody speaking about this potential situation or common situation in Australia, which sounds horrendous. People knocking on your door and forcibly jabbing you because of a so-called pandemic, whatever the latest pandemic is. Do you feel, I mean, I know we've had lots of really positive hoots today from passing by. Do you feel that people are more aware now compared to 2020 that something's not right? Because some people say, well, will they try and say there's a new pandemic, do you feel people are going to obediently lock themselves into their homes like they did last time?
The bottom line is I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there is a growing awareness, but that awareness is probably latent until.
So it's a very social. It's a very social movement we have here, isn't it? Lots of very heart-centred people. I know you mentioned Bridport, isn't it? Bridport, the pub in Did you say it's a pub in Bridport?
Well, that started off in the Bull Hotel, but they basically smelled a rat who we were, and they didn't really want us there anymore. So then
they thought it was a load of bull.
They got a bit sort of conspiracy theorists. But it was a great evening, but a couple of months later Lewis found out there is an awake landlord with an awake pub in Bridport, and ever since September 21 we meet once a month on the second Tuesday of every month. We meet in the Crown Inn in Bridport, and there's on average now it's about 40-50 people coming once a month.
Yeah.
That's really good.
The very first one we did in December 21 was 150 people turned up.
150 people?
150
wow.
people. It was absolutely rammed in it. Fantastic. And it's good for the landlord and his wife as well, because they get the business, so that keeps the pub functioning. Because pubs are shutting at the rate of 2 a day.
They are.
Yeah.
And do you feel this? So what time in the evening do people gather? By the way, on that?
Start at 6:30, but
6:30.
you can come anytime. Some people come at 7, 8. But I would reckon by about 8 o'clock most people are there.
You just be very relaxed about it. You know, some people have to come a bit of a distance. They can only come for an hour, so they come early, leave early. Some come later, stay later. We're very loose and flexible with it.
Yeah.
But the actual occasion, the second Tuesday in the month, is set in stone. So you always know that on that second Tuesday you can turn up and meet people.
Oh, that's really
and
lovely.
interestingly, every single month we always have somebody new coming for the first time.
That's great.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That's amazing.
And then, of course, people then start networking with each other.
Sure.
They bring new friends and stuff. Yeah.
Do you feel that there is an attack on pubs at the moment, and it's been going on since 2020, where I know Keir Starmer is suggesting that smokers will no longer be able to smoke outside pubs, which is going to knock a lot of drinkers' noses out of joint, and I would imagine a lot of pub landlords out of noses out of joint.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's a general attack on pubs rather than smoking?
The long-term plan would be to shut down all places altogether, so that people, because a pub, where if you went back in history, the church was where everybody congregated and met each other, and then as the influence of the church waned, then the pub became the hub for the local community, whether it was a village or a small town or whatever. That's where people meet, they sit down, they talk, they gossip, they swap information and they tell jokes and all that sort of thing. It's where people meet. And the whole idea in the lockdowns and that was to social distancing, keeping people apart, not talking to each other. That's what they don't want.
No, they don't.
So the whole idea of the pubs closing down and doing this is, I think, the boiling the frog. It's a slow step by step that eventually they'll stop it altogether.
Sure, that's very true indeed, thank you. Yeah.
The government, however, is not shutting down venues. Boris Johnson saw 100 of his own MPs rebel against him this week over new measures. Bruised, he says he's not planning more.
We're not cancelling events, we're not closing hospitality, we're not cancelling people's parties or their ability to mix. What we are saying is, think carefully before you go. What kind of an event is it? Are you likely to meet people who are vulnerable?
Hello.
Is Vic there? Is Vic there?
Are you going to meet loads of people you haven't met before? And get a test.
These swab test sticks, mainly used for COVID-19 RT-PCR tests, are sterile enough to be used. The plastic sticks, having cotton buds on both ends, are being packed in slum areas of Ulhasnagar. While people living here may have found a means to earn little money, the method of packaging does not seem to provide any kind of sterile environment. The instructions given to people like do not touch the cotton end, do not let the dust enter, hold the stick from between are not enough to ensure the safety of these swab sticks used for detecting.
It's like talking is dangerous for the government. Heaven forbid we question lockdowns and question a tyranny taking place.
Yeah, well, would you believe it? They're allegedly the servants of the people. They
Oh.
seem to be behaving like masters.
Oh, you're sounding like a conspiracy theorist there, Lewis. How dare you? We better.
That was dreamt up by the CIA to shut down debate.
It did actually, yes. Was that following JFK's assassination? Wasn't it? The term conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And one person's conspiracy is another person's fact.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Very true. Yes, well said. Yes.
Where does the conspiracy come from? I think it comes from upstairs.
Well, that's
Not
very
from
true.
us. Yeah.
Who checks the fact checkers?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the question.
Yeah.
There's lots of fact checking websites now. There's the full fact checkers website, which tells everybody what they need to believe.
Yeah.
And only the most naive will believe full facts, because heaven forbid it might not be
Remember
facts.
what Jacinda Ardern said in New Zealand?
What did she say?
She said Jacinda Ardern, who was that then Prime Minister in New Zealand, stood in front of the media and said, we, the government of New Zealand, are your sole source of truth. Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah, she's a cocaine addict, by the way.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Wow.
So's Zelensky in Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the cocaine cowboy.
Cocaine cowboy?
Yeah.
That's got a good ring to it. Oh wow, I've not heard that before. There we go. Look out for the cocaine cowboy.
Yeah.
Who we've just given £600 million to, apparently.
Yeah.
Our new Foreign Secretary David Lammy pledged £600,000 to Ukraine's Zelensky, which is our own money, ladies and gentlemen. Whilst, exactly, very well said. Whilst our NHS struggles, our schools struggle, and the winter fuel allowance is snatched away from elderly people in this UK in 2024. Yes. These are the beings you're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. And those car drivers are very much in agreement with us, guys.
We're coming to the point within the next year where most people will realise that we're in a tyranny. And a lot of people are going to wake up and they're not going to know what to do. So the importance of something like banners on bridges and leaflets and table displays is to inform and so that people are ready and they can spread the information, because once people find out their bank accounts are frozen, if they don't comply, once they find out the violence that the globalists are imparting on us, which has already started.
Dankjewel, jullie zijn er ook.
Mensen worden ook aangehouden door de politie. De man in de bus gestopt. Mensen rennen weg. Stockholm, mensen rennen nu weg richting het concertgebouw. Mensen worden aangehouden door paarden. Dit is het midden op het plein, midden op het grasveld.
Once they found out that I'm going over the ground again, that they're told what to eat, they're told what to do. There's going to be a mass awakening, but the question is, will that be too late? What's inside those people who are not doing anything now that will change things when the tyranny hits home? And I can't answer that. And I'd like to think that people won't accept being imprisoned within, in the circumference of their own home. But it's vital that we spread the word, and it's also important that we don't overdo it as well, because it's also important that we don't cave in to being called far right, because and we don't cave in to being labelled as conspiracy theorists. It takes a strong character, a strong mind at this point to keep going and doing all those things. But for the sake of humanity and the freedom of humanity, I think that it is important that we take time out to think about exactly what is happening and what we're going to do, and to make plans with your finances, make plans for your children and grandchildren, because there are things that can be done, and I suggest that people study and get enlightened and research, and not take everybody's word for it, even me. Just go and research, and then be prepared when the real crunch comes, because this is paradise compared with what they've got planned for us. So good luck to everybody.
Thank you so much, Nick, and thank you for all you're doing. It takes a lot of determination and resilience, but you keep going, and we really appreciate what you do. So bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh yeah, chemtrails. Look at the chemtrails, guys, in the distance. They've only appeared in the last hour or two. 3 very strong lines of chemtrail. So we've got the camera pointing this way towards Weymouth, and we've got the other side pointing towards Bournemouth. So this is the Bournemouth road. These cars are going to Bournemouth and Poole, and on this side we have the banner "Died suddenly." Why? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Died suddenly. Why? And this side says talks about the CBDC, digital currency. Okay, thank you, thank you. A lot of people recognise the importance of keeping cash.
Shut your mouth and look at my wad. Money. This is a journey into money.
loads of money.
Yes, indeed. Woo! Yeah! All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi guys, just a quick message to say, basically I love making these videos, I love sharing them with you all, and I love to spread love and freedom. But as you can imagine, every video takes a long time to make, lots of unsociable hours of my day spent editing them and uploading them. So if anybody would like to give a donation towards the cost of making my video, that'd be amazing. To help keep the videos going. Do click on the link below. There's a link below this video if you want to make a little donation towards the love and freedom and the work I'm doing. It'd be so much appreciated. Take care of yourselves, keep strong and keep loving. Bye for now.